Hey everyone, what's going on? So today I decided I would kill two birds with one stone and do a cubic deck profile and a danger deck profile. But it's not just going to be two different decks, it's going to be one deck meshed together. I am presenting you Danger Cubics. So to get right into it, Danger Cubics is it's insanely consistent because one, the danger cards is going to let me keep drawing cards, and two, Danger also helps with the whole link spam that Cubics has going for it. And finally, Cubics is an OTK deck at its heart. A lot of people mentioned that in my my previous Cubic video when I presented how I felt was the proper way to be playing the deck. I got a lot of positive feedback, some negative feedback, but everyone did want another Cubic deck profile since Gofu and Grinder Golem were hit on the ban list, making the previous profile really hard to make manageable. So this is a complete overhaul of my previous Cubic deck profile, but if you guys do feel like checking that out, make sure to look in the description below where you can find my older Cubic deck profile. And while you're in the description, you can find all of the Garo Gaming media. So that means the Facebook page, the Discord, the Patreon, and the Twitter. So make sure to check all that stuff out. And let me know what you guys think of Dangers. Let me know what you guys think of Cubics. Let me know what you guys think of Danger Cubics. So right here you can see the insane amount of board presence that this deck puts out. He just quit right there because he knew there was no way for him to get out of that whole situation. I got a few more replays for you guys, and then we're going to look at the deck profile. So here's the second replay for you guys. It's going to be against Magnet Warriors. Magnet Warriors are a pretty cool archetype. It's basically the little brother of ABC, so to say. It's not as good as ABC. It's not really doing anything like ABC is. But it's there. We all know it's there. It's just like they lose on turn 1 against Cubics. Well, Danger Cubics. With a board like this, who wouldn't? It's insane what you can do with Dangers mixed with Cubics right now. Alright, so this is going to be the third and final replay, and then we're going to look at a deck profile for you guys. So we're actually going to be playing against the Mirror Match, which is not the whole Mirror Match, but kind of like the Mirror Match. So they're playing Dark World Dangers. What's interesting about this is I think this is the idea that struck everyone first when they saw Dangers, because the whole thing with Dangers is your opponent's discarding cards out of your hand from your effects, though, but of course you're going to get all these Dark World effects going off. The problem that I saw with the deck is it runs out of hand advantage really fast, and it kind of just passes on a few monsters on the board that if it kind of gets outed, then you're just going to lose from there. Versus where Cubics have all this insane recovery power like Unification, Karma, Endoria Doomvolt, and Buster Gundle. So Cubics has way more recovery than Dark Worlds. The best way I can compare Danger Dark Worlds, I compare it to Six Samurai. If you get rid of their initial board, then they kind of just crumble from there. But with Cubics, they don't have that problem because of how much recovery power that they have. So from here, I think what he did wrong was I think he was trying to make the Borolo, but he messed up the combo. It wouldn't have been too big of a deal since I top decked the Crimson Nova, so I would have been able to out it. But this is just the insane power that Cubics have mixed with Dangers now. So let's get right into a deck profile for you guys. Alright, so this is Danger Cubics. So, start off, it's going to be 3 Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. So plain simple, this card just ends games with its 3000 the end phase, its 2 attacks, being unaffected by monsters attack less than 3000, and having 3000 attack. This card is absolutely incredible. It's such a good card, and that's why I'm playing it at 3. Next is Danger Bigfoot. So for everyone who does not know what Dangers do, I'm about to break down their effects. So the first effect every Danger has. So you can reveal this card in your hand, your opponent randomly chooses one card from your entire hand, then you discard the chosen card. Then if this discarded card was not Danger, whatever Danger monster, you special summon said Danger monster from your hand. And then you get to draw a card. Next up is a unique effect, and every Danger will have a unique second effect. So this card is discarded, you get target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it, plain simple. You can only use that effect once per turn. The first effect you can use as many times as you want, as long as you have a danger monster in your hand, you can use as many copies of that said danger monster that you have in your hand. It's pretty insane. And I'm only playing 2 of it because its second effect isn't that useful if you're going first. The other ones all have more useful effects if you're going first. So next is Danger Nessie. So when this card gets discarded, you get to add a danger monster from your deck to your hand, plain and simple, and that means you get to use another danger effect. Next is 3 Duza, the Meteor Cubic Vessel. So this is pretty much the heart and soul of Cubics. You send your karmas to your grave, send your unifications from your grave, you start all your combos. And what's really cool here is when you put unification in your grave and you have 2 monsters, that's where your whole link spam begins, which I'll explain later. Next is 3 Danger Chupacabra. So if this card is discarded, you can target 1 danger monster in grave, special summon it. Really plain simple, helps with your link spam right there. Next is 1 Endori Doomvolt and 1 Buster Gundle. I'm pairing these 2 cards right together because they're basically here for the same thing. If they're destroyed by battle or they're sent to the grave for any reason by any card effect by your opponent, you have to target up to 3 cubic monsters in grave, special summon them, and then you add a cubic card from your deck to your hand, or from your graveyard to your hand. So right here, the second effect is anywhere from a +2 to a +4, and all you need is at least 1 cubic monster in your grave that is not Endori Doomvolt and is not Buster Gundle. So that basically translates to Vijam or Duza, which are playing 6 right there. So you should almost always have this effect ready to fire off. So the effect that's not important is you can send 3 cubics to control the grave, special summon it from your hand, inflict 800, it gains 2400 attack. Gundle, it's same thing, but it gains 3000 attack and can attack 3 times instead of doing the 800 damage. Next is Danger ? Jackalope. So if this card is discarded, you special summon 1 danger from your deck in defense mode. Plain and simple, you get a monster out of your deck, and right there is an extra monster that you can use for your link spam. 1 Giria Guile. So this card is basically for those situations where you have Crimson Nova on the board and you have less than 3000 life points and you can't end the game right there for some reason. You just get rid of it, burn them for 800, and you just saved yourself. It's also an extra name for Crimson Nova. Next is 3 Vijam, the Cubic Seed. This card is really important because of Cubic Karma, and also its extra names for Crimson Nova, its extra names for your Buster Gundle, and its extra names for your Endori Doomvolt. Just plain old simple Vijam, the Cubic Seed. You all know what its effect does. It's not that important. It's an extra name. It works with your Cubic Karma, works with Crimson Nova. It's just important for the deck. Next is 3 Drool and Lockbird. This current format, for everyone who's watching this video past its current date, is the whole Goki format. So I think this card's more important than Ash Blossom right now, because discarding Drool against Goki just means they end their turn. It's plain and simple. Drool's just more important than Ash Blossom in this format, I think. Next is 3 Cubic Wave. This is another card just to end the game, because 1, you're going to double one of your cubic monsters' attack, and then half the current attack of one of your opponent's monsters. And if that's not good enough for you, you can banish that card and any number of cubics, put cubic counters on monsters your opponent controls for each cubic monster you banished from Wave's effect. And what cubic counters do is monsters with cubic counters, they cannot attack, they cannot activate their effects. Helps you drag out the game if you need that extra time. 3 Foolish Burial Goods. So this card's really good because it's 3 extra Duzas. You get to get rid of your karmas, you get rid of your unifications, you don't need to have Duza. But Duza is still super important, so don't think that I'm saying Duza's bad, because Duza is so important. Next is 3 Cubic Karma. So this card has 2 really good effects, the second being better than the first, but the first still being a very good effect. So once activated, you target a cubic besides the seed, send any number of seeds from your hand or deck to your grave. That monster gains 800 for each one. That could be 800, 16, or 24 onto any cubic. And then from there, if it's in your graveyard, you get to banish it, add a cubic monster from your deck to your hand, And its less important effect is in your opponent's turn, if Vijon is summoned from your grave by a cubic monster effect, you send it to your grave, your opponent loses half their life points. It's not that important, it almost never comes up. Next is 3 Unification. It's a fusion trap card, but the fusion effect's not that important. You're probably never going to really see it. It's the second effect that matters. So when a face-up cubic monster you control leaves the field for any reason, you have to banish this card, special summon one level 4 or lower cubic monster from your hand or deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So let's say you have Duza and a danger monster. You link them together to make Proxy Dragon. You activate Unification now that you just sent from Duza. Now you get another Duza. Duza sends another Unification. You link it into, say, Decode Talker. You banish this Unification, and now you put an Endori Doomvolt next to your Decode Talker. So your Decode has at least 2800 attack right there, and if they want to bring it down 2300, then they're going to be out of luck, because if they try to attack Endori Doomvolt, its effects can go off. You're going to go +4, +3, or +2. And now they're going to be up against a 3,300 attack Decode Talker. Meaning they have to put up with a 2,800 attack Decode Talker at least, assuming it's not pointing to, say, Crimson Nova or a Danger Monster. So that's pretty much the whole link spam combo right there. It's pretty simple, and it's also really powerful. 2 Danger Zone. This is Graceful Charity. I don't have any other way to describe this card. It is Graceful Charity. You draw 3, then you discard 2 cards. It has to include 1 danger card, so make sure you keep that in mind. It's kind of like a Lure of Darkness. But if you don't have a danger card, then you shuffle your whole hand back into your deck, and you can also only use 1 danger zone per turn. But you're still drawing 3, discarding 2. It's essentially Graceful Charity mixed with the Lure of Darkness as a trap card. Insanely good. 1 Crimson Nova Trinity, the Dark Cubic Lord. I know I already said that you're not really going to see the fusion effect too often, but if it just so happens that everything lines up perfectly, this is still a very insanely powerful card that can end games as soon as it hits the field. Next is a Topologic Bomber Dragon. So this whole extra deck is pretty much just abusing Unification and how much link spamming this deck can do. So Topologic is, you make it, you banish Unification of the Cubic Lords, you blow up the board. Topologic Gumbler Dragon. So this is another link 4. You're not going to be using its extra link effect, you're going to be using the first effect. If another monster is special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, which Topologic Gumbler Dragon is, while this monster is on the field, you can discard 1 or 2 random cards. Then your opponent discards the same number. So that means you can discard your Danger Bigfoot, you could end up discarding Crimson Nova, but we're not going to be using it. We're not going to be using Gumbler if that's Crimson Nova's in your hand. You're going to be using it for things like when you have Dangers in your hand, when you have Karmas in your hand, Unifications in your hand still, somehow. That's pretty much the whole point of playing Topologic Gumbler Dragon right there. Next is a Borolo Dragon. It's Borolo Dragon. Everyone should be playing a Borolo Dragon. Boral Sword Dragon. This is another card to end the game because it can change attack monster to defense monster and attack twice that turn. And when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can make this card gain attack equal to half that monster attack. And if you do, that monster loses half of its current attack. So this card's really good just ending the game. A Skulldeat, just because of how many different names that we have in this deck, it's absolutely insane and it's easy to pull off. Firewall. Firewall's just a really good card. I really don't have a solid explanation to play this card. You can probably switch it out for something else if you want to, but I just believe Firewall's insanely good, especially in a deck that is throwing out link monsters left and right. Troymare Griffin. So Troymare Griffin, your opponent can't special summon if this monster's in your main monster zone. If it's in your extra monster zone, they only have 1 monster zone where they can use the effect of special summon monsters. Trispania is the MVP of this deck. Well, the MVP of the extra deck. It's a back row wipe, which is really important because if you go into battle phase and your opponent has anything left face down, it can be really tricky. So you want to get rid of their back row as quickly as possible, and that's what Trispania is for. Next is Decode Talker. So as you guys saw in the combo video, I ended up with Decode, Crimson Nova, and Endori Doomvolt. So that was an insanely good setup because one, I had Crimson Nova, Decode 3300, and Endori Doomvolt kind of just hanging out. If they try to pop him, then I get +4. Troymare Unicorn. So this card is mostly good for later on in the game, like you guys saw, where you get to bring back all your cubics, then you can link away into this guy, remove something, put something in your grave. You can really just put out the game right there and then. Troymare Phoenix and Troymare Cerberus. These cards are just they're discarding your dangers and as well as popping things. Really useful. Proxy Dragon is pretty much a stepping stone to get into your Link 3s or your Link 4s, as is Code Talker. They're mostly just there if you need to get into your Link 3 or Link 4s. Code Talker has a kind of decent effect though, it's not that bad. Gains 500 for every monster points to, cannot be destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effect while it's pointing to a monster. So yeah, that's the Danger Cubics deck profile. So in the comments below, like I mentioned before, let me know what you guys think of this. I think this is going to be a really cool way to play Cubics going forward. My whole goal with Cubics has always been to prove that the deck is not linear as people want to believe it is, and it doesn't have to be an OTK deck like people want to believe it is, which isn't bad. I'm not saying, I don't want to make people believe that I'm all against OTK decks, because people have been very, very aggressive about that. I really appreciate everyone's passion about this deck. Cubics is definitely one of my favorite decks to be playing, and I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's been very supportive of my Cubic deck profile, and all the very helpful, constructive criticism I've received about it too. So thanks for checking that video out, and this is my new update to Cubics. I actually will have a third Cubic video coming out soon. It's going to be really